What is up, YouTube? McIntyre here. Today I am very excited to go over the Zeratul rework. They changed up a lot of his talents. They even added new icons and logos and whatnot. And I got a chance to play this character at BlizzCon, and I'm already seeing differences in the BlizzCon build compared to the now live build. One that comes to mind immediately is Warp Skirmisher. This gives you a second charge of Vorpal, and teleporting to an enemy with Vorpal causes you to crit. This was a 20 talent at BlizzCon and Shadow Mending's place, and it did not give you a crit charge. So this already is something different that I need to go over and talk about. As well as Shadow Mending. This talent at 20 seems pretty insane. 75% of your spells dealt heal you. Considering you can burst out, double cleave with this heal. If you hit a bunch of people with your cleave, you could heal an insane amount. Like, you could go from 10% to full health if you play it right. This is an insane talent. But I'm gonna go over the build now. Again, this is very, this could change as I play the character more, but from what I had found out at BlizzCon, it really felt like the Q build was the strongest out of all of the builds. And the reason for that is because of this new talent, Might of the Nerazim, I think is how it's pronounced. Sorry if I'm butchering this to all the StarCraft fans. I need to have Zeratul stop talking to. Alright, so this talent, basically 20-second cooldown, 30 mana. When you activate one of your abilities, your R basically takes up that ability, so you can recast it. So super quick, I'm going to just talent some stuff to talent this. As you can see, it's just sitting there, but if I cast Q, then now my R becomes my Q, and I can Q again. I can also cast a bomb, and then I can cast a bomb, right? So the one thing about this is that these are untalented versions. So if you were to take, let's say, Secret in the Dark at level 7, and you were to bomb and reactivate, your now R bomb would not be able to reactivate and blink after the person. Same goes for, Sentence to Death, right? Your bomb off of your R will not increase your damage by 30%. Also notable, Sentence to Death is nerfed, making Q build even more potent, which I was talking about before. I think Q build is now the build. As you can see here, 30% damage increase, down from 40, which was nerfed from 50. So truthfully, this might be a dead build. Not super sure yet. The other important thing about this 10 is this is where we get our crit attack now. Before, we got crit at 4, and without that 4 talent, a lot of Zeratul's early game is gone, as well as his burst in the later stages of the game, and this will open that up for you. So your dueling and whatnot will power spike at 10 when you get this heroic because of that. So yeah, the other thing about Q build obviously is that it doesn't necessarily need to duel people, because you're kind of blinking in and queuing and then blinking out, which might allow you to take VP still. This was my biggest question and concern with the new Zeratul, is whether or not he would be able to take VP. And as we all know, Void Prison has always been an incredibly powerful talent for Zeratul, and not being able to take it could become an issue, right? However, we are getting, a very substantial buff to his kit. Being able to, bomb twice, cleave twice, allows for some pretty tricky plays, especially when you have double, Vorpal. If you get in on somebody, you can bomb them, and then Vorpal after them, and then bomb them, and you get a crit off of your R as well. So it'll be different. He'll play a lot different, but I do think this character with this change will really be powerful. So what we'll do now is we're gonna go just over the build that I think is correct. Starting with our level 1. I think we're just going to take greater cleave. This is going to allow you to hit more people with your Q. And again, now that we get spell damage heal at 20, this could be really, really good because you want to hit as many people as possible. If you feel like you can hit the enemy team without the greater cleave, Shadow Hunter is probably where you want to go now. So, you know, gathering a globe lowers the mana cost of your blink, and then after you gather 15, your basic attacks battle momentum your blink back, which is honestly a really cool talent when you think about it. But a lot of the time, especially with the build we wanted to go with cleave, we're going to be taking wormhole, we're going to blink in, bomb, Q, and then blink out, right? So there's not going to be a lot of auto attacking going on, although this could be a pretty cool talent, maybe something to play around with some spicy, juicy builds. But for now, we're going to be taking greater cleave at 1. Now looking at his 4 talents, a few things have changed. Obviously, we lost crit. We got this Darkness Descends, which is an interesting one. Basically gives you attack speed for 40 seconds, and you get a passive 10% attack speed. I'm not sure Zeratul has enough in his kit to, I guess, you know, push this. There could be an auto attack build Zera where we take like Shadow Hunter, Darkness Descends, Warp Skirmisher, and that's kind of what Blizzard's wanting us to do, right? And then we can at 16 get Master Warp and potentially, you know, Vorpal on our 3rd auto for Master Warp to get big crits. I don't know. I think that might be what Blizzard's trying to do with that build, and maybe that's a really spicy build and I'm just not seeing it yet, or I haven't played it. But for our case, we are going to take Rune and Cleave. This helps you with your wave clear. It helps you put in more damage and poke. And then we have our other new talent, which is Psionic Strength. Dealing damage to enemy heroes increases all damage dealt by 6% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 30. Okay, so this is a change too. At BlizzCon, I believe this said, when you auto attack, you get AP. In this case, when you deal damage, you get AP. And this just says, okay, so it says heroes. So with, you know, this cleave, right, with the increased radius, if we were to cleave the enemy, I wonder how quickly this spikes, right? If I hit all 5 people with my Q, is it better in most cases to then have bonus AP or 40% additional damage over 3 seconds? So this is a talent that I need somebody who's got the math skills to actually break down, because it's possible to blink in, cleave, right? And then we get a reset on our cleave so we can recast it at a 30% increased damage. It might just be better to always do 40% with the, you know, this is a possible 30% increase, right? You don't always have it. This is a guaranteed always 40% on your Q. So this is a funky one, but this could be powerful. Obviously, it's just going to increase your burst on, you know, cleaving the whole enemy team down. Yeah. And then the other thing is, you know, with Rending Cleave, when you Q and then you activate your R is not scaling off of this talent, right? But it would be scaling off of this because this is boosting your damage you deal, and this is boosting your talent, right? And we get an untalented version. So again, this is just me talking and doing some theory crafting, but potentially Psionic Strength could be good. That's, I guess, the end of this story. But for now, we're gonna go, we'll try Sonic Strength. Actually, we're gonna try it. I think Rending Cleave will definitely be better because you always get the 40%, and it helps you with your wave clearing. But for the very first few games, I'm gonna try this new Psionic Strength talent. Now we look at our level 7. We got Wormhole, which we all know and love, which is probably where we're gonna be at nowadays. We got Seeker, which is the old build, which was nice because it allowed you to crit twice, and it still does. And then we now have Warp Skirmisher, which is pretty sweet. Giving a second charge of Vorpal is powerful, considering you can Vorpal to your target, you can Vorpal to your target, you can blink to your target. But I think we're gonna go Wormhole, just because, you know, in my eyes, this is what the combo looks like. So we see the Arthas, right? We blink, and then we Wormhole out, right? And considering your bomb deals more damage, it's probably better to double bomb on blink combo, kind of like what I did there, than it is to double cleave, unless you're cleaving more than one target, right? So if you see a clump, then you would want to blink Q, R, bomb, E, right? And then if you see just an individual target, you would want to blink, cleave, bomb, bomb, wormhole. Okay, so that's kind of what the basic new combo is going to look like. You can obviously Vorpal. The problem with Vorpal nowadays is you don't have VP. So just remember that with your Vorpal blade, you will not have Void Prison at the tail end of this combo, right? And a more optimal version of this would probably be blink, auto, Q, W, R, E, right? Let's see, does this basic attacks? Okay, so I'm still confused, and maybe Blizzard just wrote this tooltip wrong. The little tooltip here says basic attacks, abilities increase damage dealt, which is some crazy broken English, because this says dealing damage to enemy heroes. Okay, so oh wow, all right, so auto attacks, Q, everything, and you can just maintain 30%. All right, so this is probably the better of the two. If you're autoing something, right? Let's see what his burst is looking like now. I think his burst is substantial, and it looks like you can almost get into autos. All right, so new optimal combo would be blink, auto Q, bomb, auto bomb. So blink, yeah, something like that. Let's try this one more time. So we blink, we're gonna auto attack. We then Q bomb, auto bomb, wormhole out. Yeah, like that. 2,000 damage. Huh. Pretty weak. Looks like we can get 3 autos in. Alright, so again though, that's kind of the basic combo, right? And we obviously continue to scale that combo as we go into the later stages of the game. Looking at our 13 talents, these are all really powerful. Mending Strikes will still heal you, right? When you auto attack and crit. Shroud is going to be pretty powerful, actually. We might see Zeratul start to take this, because when you blink in and you do your combo, then you're trading, you know, invisible shield health for real health, and that can be pretty strong. And then you have spell shield, which you might be taking in some cases where the other team's trying to burst. So not too bad. I'll take Shroud for now. And then here comes our 16 again, since we're not taking so now we're at a standstill. I wonder, Void Slash is definitely insanely powerful, and it deals a ton of damage when you hit more than one person. But I wonder if Sentence to Death could be powerful now that we're getting an additional bomb off. So this is again something we'll have to test too, right? So if we bomb and then we bomb, does a second bomb deal more, right? Looked like it did 280 something. Toggle cooldowns again. Okay, so the first bomb hit 541 and then the second bomb hit 270. Is that what I just saw? Yeah, okay, so the second bomb, since it's blowing up after you mark, it's dealing less damage. So in this case, you would want to bomb double cleave. Like that. It's pretty good burst. So blink, bomb, double cleave, auto, blink out. 2449. Probably not good enough. Void Slash is definitely better, I would say, in this case. Just because you're going to be going in, cleaving, and then going out. So, again, this is something that will need to be tested and mathed out. But I'm fairly certain that Void Slash is going to be the better of the two talent choices at this level. just because of both the CDR and increased damage. And now we are gonna look at our level 20. I think Twilight Falls is just the way to go. It resets all of your abilities when you cast your R. Shadow Mending is still possible. This will give you crazy sustain, right? But this will give you a whole nother rotation of spells. So if I'm correct about this, I can blink, bomb, Q, R, it'll reset, bomb, Q, blink out. That's a lot of stuff going on, but let's see if we can do this. All right, let's take it off cooldown now. And we have the Vorpal too, if you want to Vorpal back. So when you hit this threshold, you have the ability to combo in, blink out, Vorpal back with the resetted cooldowns, or you can just do a full dump and still have blink. Now we're looking at a 46-62 damage combo, and I'm sure that can be more optimized. So that really might be, you know, now we see a big power spike with this 20 talent, right? Just depends on how many autos you get off during that. The other thing that you have to think about too is if you do just work in autos in between spells, then you're just going to be critting every auto attack, right? Like, you can just crit every auto attack, which is pretty gross, to be honest. So his overall sustained damage is looking pretty sick right now. With the ability to, you know, just do a full burst combo. Like, you do get okay, so that's something to note too. You do get a crit off of your blink wormhole. So if you blink and then you get 2 crits off of your activated and your reactivated, so that's something too. That's pretty cool. Before you weren't critting on wormhole because you were going full Q build with rending cleave. And I think with psionic strength too, you're going to be able to, you know, if you're ever auto attacking, I mean, since your damage kind of scales, right? Yeah, since your damage scales, if you auto attack a couple times before you engage, or if when you blink into cleave, you immediately cleave 5 with psionic strength, your burst just increases by 30%, which is pretty gross too. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. This character these changes are really, really exciting. And to be honest, I'm not even sure what is right or wrong. Considering the Vorpal change and being able to crit now with Vorpal, and you have the ability to go Q build. He seems like he could be really insane. But again, the biggest and most significant thing that is happening right now, while I am so excited about all these changes, is that I do not have Void Prison. And a lot of the times, Void Prison was your get out of jail card on Zeratul. And since you don't have that anymore, you know, he might lose some of that ability to like go in and do something crazy and then VP and get out, right? Or if the other team's just deathballing, you know, maybe he's not as potent. But then again, now he can blink in double cleave, and that does really good against death balls. So it's really hard to say, but I do need to play him to really get a feel for what is right or wrong. Just for the meme's sake, let me I'll show off the build that I think is correct, and then I'll show off the meme builds really quick. So the build that I'm probably going to be going the very first game that I play is going to look like this. Okay, So this is the build right here. If you guys want that, I'll also have that on Heroes Hearth, which will be in the description below. This is, I think, the build that will be the most picked and most talented for now, since it's somewhat similar to what we used to have. And I think because Sonic Strength scales when you blink in, when you hit all of them with a cleave, you basically get that 30% increased damage immediately instead of the 40% dot. Which is good because then it'll buff your rewind cleave. It'll also buff your bomb, right? Because you'll blink, bomb, cleave, and when your bomb activates, you'll have that spell power on it. So it's just an increase 30% to both your bomb and your untalented R. So I think this is better. And then, yeah, you just kind of blink in and do the combo that we were just talking about. But for the sake of having fun, there potentially, you know, Blizzard might have hid an auto attack build in here, and I'll show you that now. And I think with this build, it is even possible to go VP, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. But this is what this build is going to look like, and this is more of a meme build. But what I think about this build is that if you do get on, like, let's say Avala or something in the back line, I'm pretty sure you will just shred her. And we can test too really quick on that third hit. Okay, so on the third hit, I hit 761, right? Let's see if I Vorpal on the third hit, if I hit harder. 855. So because we get a crit on our Vorpal, it might not be worth to take Nerazim. But then again, you know, having this second, I don't know, this could be really strong. This is kind of absurd, actually. So if we activate Dark Descends, right, and we blink in, or something, no, we don't blink in, probably. We just sneak up on them, right? And we activate this Dark's Descend, like, I mean, yeah, you can kill Avala super quick. So 886 if I activate a spell before that third hit, right? But what we can do here is we can, maybe we don't even take, yeah, maybe we do take. What we can do here is we can blink, which will give us our first crit. We can bomb, which will give us our second crit. Then we can Q, which will give us our third crit. And that should just do an absurd amount of damage, right? With the activate on the Darkness Descents. Like that. 2936. Yeah, and then if you have VP, you're stuck on that Vol. There's no way Vol escapes. Or whatever backline, and you can VP the supports off of them. This could be a build. I'll just say it. This could be a build. Especially considering when we get 15 globes, our basic attacks reduce the cooldown of our blink. This could be a really strong build. Just because of how fast you're attacking. Huh. This is a build I want to try too. Oh my goodness. All right, cool. All right, well, that's the new Zeratul. And as you guys can see, this camera is zoomed out more. Maybe you'll notice it more in the gameplay. But for now, this is the build. I will upload a gameplay video, potentially of both builds. But for now, I always like when new changes happen to just play around in try mode and have you guys either watch me play around or just listen to me talk about the changes. Overall, I do believe this character did get buffed? Question mark. He might be more like a solo laner now, right? Rather than what he was before, where he roamed around and, you know, kind of, he can still look for picks, I think, in the early game, but he might be a better solo laner now. His problem with the VP is going to affect his play, but there might be builds where people just, you know, I know looking at like Rich and Kyocha before these changes even were live, Rich and Kyocha would go Q build, you know, Q, Q, E, VP, right? And they didn't, and they did not ever take crit, right? And here I am talking about how powerful this is because it has crit attached to it. So it is possible to just be a Q bot on Zeratul with the ability to VP, and that might be what we end up seeing still, right? But we'll see. again, I'm excited for him. There's a lot of different ways to play this character now, and I think that's really cool. And I actually really want to try this build. Maybe try it with Seeker or something. Like, there, you can bomb in and then just boom, 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 hit him 3 times and blink out. It's hard to say if we even need Darkness Descends, right? I don't know. Yeah, I want to try this build too, because you can really mess up a like Volo or something like that. It would be what, really quick. It would be like the optimal build would be blink, activate your attack speed, bomb, Q, something like that. Right, 3, 7, 14, and you're obviously just hacking away. So it's not like they're gonna be able to escape you. And if you have your quest completed, which gives you blink cooldown, let's toggle cooldowns again. So let's see if I blink in, like, yeah, your blink cools off real fast with that attack speed. Obviously, you would just slay somebody that's by themselves with this. But that's it. I'm calling it because I can just sit here and talk about this all day. And I want you guys to get out there and get some gameplay of Zeratul in. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to throw a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can always check me out on Twitch and Twitter. Those are going to be in the description, as well as my Heroes Hearth profile page, which will be linked below as well. Click that, check that out. Got some blog posts up there. I'll probably have a new blog post for Zeratul, a build, all of that stuff, all the goods, as well as others content that is really, really, really good if you're trying to dig deeper into your gameplay. But that's gonna be it. Again, guys, thank you all so much, and until next time, yo, real talk though, why do I have these things when I'm invisible? That's so weird. I will see you next time. Cheers, guys.